Do you ever wonder why everything in One Piece feels connected? The devil fruits, the white century, the will of tea. Even after all these years, it still feels like the world is hiding something. And even if you have never thought about it before, by the end of this video, you probably will. Because One Piece was never built like a normal anime world. It was built like a world with missing history. A world where entire centuries were erased, where people are killed for learning the truth, and where even knowledge itself become dangerous. And honestly, that doesn't sound as fictional as it should. That's why moments in One Piece feel bigger than they first appear. Robin screaming that she wants to live, Nami finally asking for help, Luffy ringing the bell in Skypiea. They don't just feel emotional, they feel connected to something larger. Because the world of One Piece remembers things. The White Century isn't just hidden lore. It is a proof that somebody wanted the truth buried. The world government didn't just defeat an enemy, they erased an entire version of history. And ever since then, the entire world has felt incomplete. That's why Ohara matters so much. It wasn't destroyed because of weapons. It was destroyed because people wanted to learn history. And the strange part is, the world of One Piece almost feels afraid of its own past. Because suddenly, the mysteries stop feeling random. They start feeling inherited. In One Piece, dreams don't really disappear. They survive through people. Roger dies, but somehow his will continues. Joyba disappears from history, yet the world still feels like it's waiting for him. And maybe that's why Blackbeard says, people's dreams never end. Because that idea exists everywhere in One Piece. People inherited dreams, they inherited pain, they inherited promises they don't fully understand yet. And that's why the world feels alive after all these years. Not just because Oda planned things early, but because the story was built around inherited memory. That's also why devil fruits feel so different from powers in other anime. One Piece never treats them like simple abilities. They feel unnatural, almost like human desires itself. Many fans believe they represent humanity's desires and evolution. And honestly, that idea fits perfectly with the story Oda is telling. Because underneath all the mysteries, One Piece keep returning to the same conflict: freedom versus control. The world government controls history, they control information, they decide what the world is allowed to know. But wherever Luffy goes, people become free. Kingdoms collapse, cages break, and people start believing in impossible things again. That's why the mysteries of One Piece feel important. They aren't just there to keep the audience curious, they exist because the world itself was built around hidden truth. And maybe that's the real reason One Piece still feels alive after nearly 30 years. Not just because of foreshadowing, but because the story was designed like a living world. A world where history still matters, where dreams survive death, where freedom keeps fighting against control, and where the past refuses to disappear. So maybe the greatest mystery in One Piece was never just the treasure itself. Maybe it was understanding why the world needed the truth to stay hidden in the first place.